look a little presentable, right, for you guys. I don't really grow much of a beard, to be honest, but I kind of like how it shaves. Because usually I don't use shaving cream as much. I could just use just a blade, but I kind of like using shaving cream. All clean. This is episode 1 of my journey. It's not perfect, it's not polished, but it's real. And this is the art of being and becoming. All right. All kinds of things here. These are not sponsored. This is just what I drink. I'm gonna be making my smoothie. I'm gonna try to make this fast, but just give you a little insight as to how I make my smoothie and how easy it is to eat healthy, drink it, and especially if you're someone who doesn't like to eat food and you like to drink it, it's a lot faster and easier for that. So we got some milk, dates, flaxseed, hemp seeds, spring mix, and some peanut butter. It's kind of dark in here, huh? So maybe I'll probably turn on the lights a little bit. So I'm gonna just give you guys a quick macro tutorial. It's really straightforward. So here's a food scale. I basically weigh my food by looking at how many grams or how much weight, as you can see here. So like 2 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons is 15 grams. So if you put 15 grams of this, it's 90 calories, right? It gives you 90 calories. It tells you, it gives you 6 grams of fat, 5 grams of carbs, 3 grams of protein. It's that simple, right? It's like adding money to the bank and you know exactly what food you're putting in your body. The moral of the story is when it comes to counting macros, like you don't have to do this. It's more so like if you wanna know and gain the skills to be able to know how to gain weight, how to stay the same weight or bulk, counting macros is gonna give you pretty much the holy grail skill set of controlling that. And there's so many fad diets like keto, paleo, and all these other, whatever, vegan, whatever diet you wanna go for, like technically it works, but long-term it's not beneficial because you're restricting yourself from being able to eat the foods that you actually like. So counting macros is so, I think, like, honestly, it's like the secret to knowing your body. And if you become good at it, which I don't count all the time, but because I do this so often, and I did it for about 2 to 3 years, like consistently, I can pretty much eyeball food and know what I'm getting, where I basically don't have to count. But if you just take the time to spend about 3 to 6 months of doing it, and yeah. Blech. See how I always fuck up and I just blank out, but I'm probably gonna put this in the clip. But yeah, it's the whole point of this is to have the tools to be able to know that you can pretty much have flexible eating. Well, obviously you don't want to eat junk food 24/7, but to be able to spend time with family and eat at Christmas and not feel guilty for eating it because you had the ability to be able to cut weight or stay the same or eat more if you need to eat more. And that's what it's all about, is it's balance. Oh, and real quick, I'm not really getting into depth of like what macros is. You can simply Google it. Also, you have ChatGPT, so that thing is free and you can literally ask what is macros and how do you count macros, and it's gonna give you a very in-depth detail on how to do that. So I'm just kind of showing the ropes of it, but if you guys are like, oh, I really wanna learn from you and you know, create a video on it, hey, if you guys wanna learn more, I'm more than happy to do that if you guys leave a comment in below. But yeah, I'm gonna make my smoothie real quick. I got my smoothie. I usually always end up having to drink from here first, and then I'll eventually drink this once I finish this. So let me chug this real fast. Nice, rich, and creamy. Ugh. She's the baddest of them all. I don't know why that song's in my head. I think it's BOTA. If you look it up on Spotify, it's so catchy. It's like, ooh, so yeah, I literally was hesitant on starting this video, and I'm actually really tired because I didn't really sleep well, maybe because I was thinking about this video project and like really getting serious with YouTube, and I don't know, there's something that just feels right about this. So I'm trying to find the right balance of how much I want to be able to share and teach in these videos. A lot of it's going to be like vlog format, but also a little bit of like some cinematic shots on top of just sharing and documenting my journey, just so you can know me, just so you can get to know me a little bit more. Because at the end of the day, we can show all the good times when we are looking good, showing all the highs. But in a lot of cases, there's a lot of lows, and I want to be able to share all of that with you guys, just so you can know that you're not alone and that it's normal. Like it's literally normal to go through phases where you feel stagnant and you just don't do anything and you're doubting yourself. You get lazy, and then you finally catch yourself, you get back in the groove of things, and then you're still trying to find clarity on what you want, but you don't know what you really want, on top of dealing with school and parental pressures and social media comparison. Like, it's a lot. Like you're pretty much flooding yourself with too many things that's going on, and there's no space for yourself. And I feel like I took a lot of reflecting in the past, let's say even 5 years, of like, what do I really want? And during those 5 years, I messed up a lot. Just like making bad decisions, sleeping in, not going to the gym anymore, overthinking everything, just a ton of stuff that just doesn't feel like myself. But in hindsight, I had to go through those phases to feel that pressure, to feel that nasty energy of like, man, I'm not doing anything, I'm not creating anything for myself. What the heck, right? And I encourage you guys to pretty much, no, let's rewind that back. I literally was not gonna start this video, and I was thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna do after New Year's. It just feels, I have a lot of wedding films to edit. I have about 7 films to edit in the queue, which is my work, which is essentially what pays the bills. So that usually takes priority. So I would just technically put my creative pursuits behind, because I would excuse myself and say, oh, well, I have to take care of this. This is the adult responsibility. So like, I cannot create my own passion projects like this. And thanks to ChatGPT, it was able to help me walk through my mindset of like, hey, you think this is the right move for me to do? Should I just start now, or do you think it makes sense while I have all these other things that I have to take care of? And it literally is like my mentor right now. I've been learning so much from it. So I really encourage you guys to start implementing ChatGPT in your life. And it's not just for tasks, it's not just for like emails, it's for anything. It can literally talk to you about astrology, spirituality, coding, programming, writing, script writing, everything that you could think of is at your fingertips. And it's helping me structure this video. Actually, I use ChatGPT to help figure out how I want to make this flow. And now I'm really seeing that this gives me a visual of knowing that I can structure this properly, because if I didn't have ChatGPT, I pretty much had to like start from scratch and like figure out, oh, how am I gonna create this channel and what is it gonna be about? And like I really had to just brainstorm and take a lot of mental energy to think about it, and it wasn't working. But because now that I have ChatGPT, it helped me narrow down a niche that I think aligns with my values. And that's why I call this the channel of the art of being and becoming. And I think that's something that I want to show and represent in my life through these vlogs. I would say I'm doing a weekly vlog release, and there's no like specific timeline. It's just a video that I want to share of what I go through in a weekly basis. It could be just a single day, or it could be an accumulation of days. It just depends on how much things are happening. Like for example, if I'm just editing and like that's it, then I don't think there's really any content to record there. And not only that, ChatGPT really helped me change the mindset of, because we say content, and it literally said, think of this as your soul project, not just content, your soul project. And that hit deep. That like really helped switch the perspective, because we're constantly throwing content around very loosely, and it's not even about content. It's about you literally showing your life journey, which is your soul project, to the world. And eventually I want to be able to have a community of people that resonate with me, and if it doesn't, that's fine. At least you were able to stop by. But my goal is to empower you guys to follow your dreams, to follow your passions, to never give up. And like, as much as a lot of people are going to tell you what you should do, you're only the person that's gonna know what you really want. So yes, you can take some advice from certain people, especially if you want something that they have already. So yes, please learn from those that have the thing that you want. And if you have people telling you what you should do and they don't have that thing, just take it with a grain of salt. A few points I want to share is why chaos is the perfect time to start. Like, if you can create in the middle of chaos, then you can pretty much be creating anything you want. Because if you're able to channel your energy while dealing with relationships, your job, etc., and also be able to create through that chaos, that's just showing your actual genuine nature that, hey, like, I'm actually able to do this while all of this is happening. And I was convincing myself that, oh, I can't create in this chaos because I have so much on my plate, and it's too much for me. Let me just wait on this for now. You know what I mean? And it's that easy that the mind plays tricks on yourself. And sometimes when you sit there and think too long, you're gonna start to agree with it, and then you're gonna start to doubt yourself, and then you're just gonna start to slowly back up and be like, okay, let me just wither away and disappear again, which I did for pretty much 8 years of my life. And now that I'm 30, I turned 30 in October, and I told myself that if this is the next decade that I'm entering, and my intention for these next 10 years is to make more good decisions than bad. You know what I mean? And I think that's a very easy way to simplify it. And it's kind of hard to measure, but you kind of can look back and see what you've built and what you've done for yourself. And I felt like I didn't do much for the past 10 years. But in hindsight, again, all those things, like, I can always say, oh man, I could have been a YouTuber already if I had just focused like a year ago, whatever. But the timing was just wasn't right. I had to go through that 10-year period of struggle, confusion, and just going through that in itself allowed me to reflect. So today I'm embracing the chaos, and there's just no excuse. And I feel like I went to high school, I went to college, I graduated with a business degree, and I was able to do weekly assignments or daily assignments every week because I was told what to do. I had structure, I had a teacher and a grade, so you felt some sort of pressure that you had to do it. But on this journey of being a creative, you don't have any of that. It's just you, and you have to map out what you want to create, what's the deadlines. Ooh, something's going down, like a loud police car or something. But yeah, you just gotta take ownership and create the schedule that you want, that makes sense for you. And also I'm using that to empower myself of like, if I was able to do weekly assignments, essays that I fucking hated to do, excuse my language, I bleeped that out. And I spent 4 years doing that. 4 years of turning in assignments and doing stuff that I don't like doing. How could I not post one weekly video a week? Like, it just doesn't add up. And I think obviously the whole reason why I wasn't able to do that was because of distractions, social media, the comparison. We're constantly scrolling, looking at people's content and just consuming to the point where you just don't even like know who you are, because you're just taking in every single person's consciousness, energy that's coming through, and you're just not even having space in your mind for your own self, for your own soul to tell you, hey, you need to do this. And so that's where I like to tell you guys that, hey, follow your inner voice, and in order to follow your inner voice, you have to take away the distractions. And that's what I did. I literally deactivated my account on Instagram, deleted the app for a month, and I felt like you don't really see like a huge change in a sense, but like I feel like I was able to talk to myself more and like feel less anxious about what's going on with the world and who's this creator making this cool stuff, and all that's gone. It's just silence. And you hear that all the time. They say like you should meditate in silence, because in silence is when you receive. So yeah, but the best analogy is like, imagine you're just in a loud room with 100 people, and you hear da da da, just a bunch of chatter, and then your phone is ringing, and that phone ringing to pick up the call, you don't hear it, you don't feel it, because there's just too much going on that you don't even know that your spirit or your soul is calling you to be like, hey, pick up the phone, because I'm trying to tell you like you should do this, but you're too busy talking to other people and dealing with all the outside noise. Silence. So big thing for you guys to start is just take out the distractions. Simple as that. So here I am, starting in the middle of the chaos, starting in the not perfect time in my life, and great things just happen when you just start.